Dictators and despots have rise and fall since the dawn of human civilization. But what if I were to tell you there was a dictator in the United States, specifically in the state of Louisiana? Our story begins in 20th century America. Politician Huey Long won the 1928 governor's race at his home state of Louisiana. Coming from a family that was relatively poor, Long sought to improve his home state, from improving infrastructure, education, healthcare, building a new state capital. The list can go on and on. This sounds great and all, but you might be asking, how was he a dictator? The problem with Huey Long's achievements is not so much the policies itself, but how he implemented them. He used intimidation and bribery tactics to get the policies he wanted to be in effect. There was many attempts to get Huey Long out of power, from impeachment to even a coup from his lieutenant governor. He later, as governor, introduced the Share the Wealth program, a program that was meant to be the solution to the Great Depression in the early 1930s, as he saw FDR's New Deal didn't go far enough to help Americans.
And that over 70% of the people of America don't own enough to pay the debts that they owe. How many men ever went to a barbecue and would let one man take off the table what's intended for 9/10 of the people to eat? The only way you'll ever be able to feed the balance of the people is to make that man come back and bring back some of that grub he ain't got no business with.
Many critics saw this policy as being communist, and even many communists and socialists in America saw Long's Share the Wealth program as not the proper solution to the Depression. The irony to his more conservative critics is that Long saw this as a prevention of a communist uprising in the United States. His Share the Wealth program was very popular, that many Americans around the country set up around 27,000 Share the Wealth clubs, comprising about 7.5 million members at its height. That's 18% of the American population at this time. He later successfully decided to run for senator. However, the problem with this is that while he's in Washington, he still controlled Louisiana with an iron fist. So much so, as he comes back home to his home state from time to time, he directly tells legislators and his cabinet members what to do. Even his successor as governor, Oscar K. Allen, was really more of a stooge of Huey Long. He had ambitions to run for president against FDR in 1933, which failed of course, seeing how the United States did not have a president Huey Long. That, my friends, only exists in Kaiserreich. Unfortunately for him, on September 10, 1935, he was assassinated in the recently built state capitol building. Overall, I personally find him interesting as a historical political leader in the 1930s. He used his power not to become a traditional cruel dictator, but to help people who are struggling at the time, leaving behind a legacy that historians and history buffs like me to debate to this day. But what did you think? Do you believe that despite his controversy, he did a good thing for his home state and the country as a whole? Do you think his legacy is worth remembering? Comment down below.